Alright, it's finally time to pull all my ancient shards. I've been actually saving for a long time, but we have a ×2 event once again. And this really boosted my account the last time. So I think the last time I pulled around 30 ancient shards or 35. Now I actually have more than double that amount. And it was really a nice boost for the account for multiple reasons. First of all, the epics and legendaries that you might get are obviously super helpful, especially if you don't have full lineups for your Faction Wars teams just yet. But also, everything that you pull that you don't need, you can still use as chickens, so it essentially elevates your entire lineup that you're currently using by getting more and more champions towards 5-star or even 6-star. So right now I have around 80 ancient shards, and I only pulled a single legendary so far from shards. And it was a pretty bad one at that. The only use case so far has been Faction Wars because I don't have anything else there. I hope that today we're going to get a little bit more lucky. I have obviously my personal wish list there too. So anything useful honestly would be amazing. It doesn't even have to be a legendary. I'm already happy with a couple of decent epics. So I think let's jump in and let's pull some shards. 80 shards is what I have, and when it comes to champion, I mean, there is obviously a little bit of a progression event coming with this as well. I don't really think that I'm going to pull any of those, but I would really like to have on my free-to-play account also a Rhodos. Rhodos is amazing. He's been doing a lot of work on my main account for a long time. And also, when we're talking about extra damage, I would like a defense champion that can actually dish out a little bit of damage on the epic side would be pretty nice for me as well. So I selected the two of them. There's obviously a lot of utility on others here as well, but I think for my account, these would be the best at this point in time. So at this point, let's just pull them 10 at a time and see what exactly we're going to get here. And again, if I get a legendary, that would be amazing, but I would be happy with some decent epics too. Ooh, okay. We're off to a good start here. I like this. I like this a lot. So, Annex, I mean, Annex can be quite nice as well for Undead Hordes, I guess. It's not really a champion that I have used a whole lot on my main account. Anything, honestly, that is epic is helping me with a lot of my... Yeah, with a lot of my Faction Wars. It's not really a champion that is going to get me far. It's not somebody that I'm going to focus on. But Monster is amazing. So Monster is incredible. You can build him a couple of different ways. You can go and fully build into him just being a protector, getting that big shield out. But honestly, when you have a little bit more of a lower level account, Monster with his stun that he has here can frustrate tons of people in Arena. I'm not quite sure if you at any point in an early game account went up against a monster that was just fast, had a lot of accuracy, and maybe was even in a fast sunset, but you can do a lot with this. So Monster can be super frustrating to go up against, and he's just a really nice wave controller, so he's going to be fantastic for my Faction Wars team, but I will probably also use him in Team Arena, and might even use him for the occasional dungeon if I need to, or maybe the Doom Tower if I need to control another wave. So I have a soft spot for Monster. He's a pretty awesome champion. I have a lot of fond memories on my main account with Monster, because he was one of the first epics that I got, and I drove a lot of people in Arena crazy with him. So yeah, that's already a good pull. We're already off to a good start. I like this. So let's go for 10 more and see what we're getting there. The rares, I didn't go over too much right now, but there were a couple of useful ones for certain Doom Tower secret rooms as well. So that's not too bad. And, well, we're getting more epics. I like this. Grunge, if I remember, is actually quite nice for Organ Tribes as well. So this is something that I will definitely utilize a little bit. I think I had him and used him in a few of the cases. Anything where you have, like... I don't have a bomb champion yet. So if you have something that operates around bombs, that can actually be quite nice. So I think I'm going to get some use out of him. Spider can definitely use him as well, and Delver too. It's not really insane champions or anything like it, but I definitely am going to get some Faction War usage out of them. And again, anything that is epic just gives me more options. I might end up in a situation where I might have to build one of these guys, even though they are not my first choice. Abyssal, by the way, on the rare side is pretty neat. And I already have one. The whole thing with Abyssal is that you have a lot of abilities that attack every single enemy on the other side. So if you put him in stun sets, you can kind of cheese some of the like Cursed City stages, or for example Doom Tower stages. So you can actually do a lot with him with the right equipment if there are a lot of requirements around rare champions, for example. Ooh! Okay, Minaya. Not gonna lie, when it comes to legendaries, I would have loved to have somebody else, but Minaya here, she is Not bad though. Minaya is not bad. I use her on my main account. I have a Corona as well, so she gets a little bit of an additional boost if you have a Corona on the team too. But she is actually a pretty decent champion, so she is definitely going to help me, and I'm 100% going to build her. Now, don't get me wrong, I would have loved something, you know, a little bit more oomph that has more of an impact, but she is doing a lot. Now, first of all, turn meter, heal, this is already amazing. At the same time, you have a really decent heal here. You have a block debuffs on allies, which is fantastic for me because I actually don't have a block debuff champion. So I'm actually really happy with this pull. I would have loved something that has more of an impact, but she's going to be great. I'm definitely going to build her. She's going to be awesome. She has nice heals. She has also heal reduction, which is something else that I'm actually lacking. And you need that for certain areas and bosses in the Doom Tower, in other areas too. So having the heal reduction here is already fantastic. The continuous heal. I am absolutely not unhappy with Minaya. She's not only going to be someone that I'm using in Bannerlords, but she will be somebody that I use just everywhere. I'm really lacking a decent support champion that can help me. The aura is a benefit. Having that 19% actual increased percent in speed is also fantastic. So yeah, she's a really good pull for me. That's actually gonna is fantastic for my account. I would have loved something a little bit more on the damage side, just for fun of it. But I think just from a progression perspective, she's probably the better pull, and she's awesome. So very, very happy with the Naya pull, especially given that the last time that I got a legendary, it was mediocre at best. So yeah, not really all that great. Okay, pull number 4. That didn't really do anything for us, unfortunately. So didn't get anything here. Couple of rares. Most of them will end up being fodder at this point. There's very few rares that I'm actually looking for. And I think all of them are void rares. So I'm not going to pull them here. That's just what I'm saying. But let's see if we're going to get a couple more. Another epic. Vildrax. I actually used Vildrax. Ooh. Okay, this is actually cool. I like this. Okay, this is awesome for my account. This is amazing. I love this. Big Un. He has lost a little bit. He's an amazing champion, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love pulling him here, but it's kind of funny to me because with everything else that was added now over the last couple of years, he doesn't really have that amazing position that he had before. But when I started my main account, he was actually one of the best champions that you could get. And I think I don't even have one on my main account. So you have increased accuracy, which is already great. Then, which is pretty important, you have immediately decreasing turn rate of the opponent, and you also have a decreased speed. He does a lot of damage as well, which is quite nice. But again, you have the double attack, you have a decreased speed, which is always awesome. I can, for example, use him now in some areas where so far I've used my Grave Wolf because he was one of the few that had actually decreased speed. So this helps me. The only downside here is that this is actually an A3 spell that has a 5-turn cooldown after booking him, whereas Grave Wolf has on his A1. So it really dependent a little bit on how many applications of decreased speed I need. And it's also not a guarantee. You have a 30% here and you can't boost that any further. But still, it's a nice bonus to have, especially when you're working through Doom Tower, when you're working through the Cursed City. So this is an awesome pull. I'm super happy with the legendaries right now. And again, on the A2, you also again attack all enemies. So for AoE clear, he's just awesome. And you have that stun and the decreased accuracy. This is amazing. Honestly, the pulls are amazing for me. Minaya is great. And Big Un is just fantastic. The other day I was talking to you guys about how if you have a champion that can control the other wave with either stun, decreased attack, slows, fear, how great that can be. And I think I talked a bit about it also in the context of the Epic Void that you can currently fuse. So Big Un is taking that slot. I mean, pretty clearly. On A1, again, you have also another attack, and the cool thing here is if your first attack is critical, then you have another one that attacks all enemies. So you have a lot of damage against the entire lineup of the opponent. And if you build him, you obviously want to aim for 100% crit rate anyways. So this is an incredible pick for me. This absolutely, I'm super happy about this. Vildrax I also used in the past, so he's somebody that can be pretty nice as well. We're having a little bit of play with Hex, which at the time was introduced here. So with Vildrax you can definitely do a couple of things. He has also that Leech for the Demon Spawn faction. He will help me a lot. I don't have too many champions that can really push me there currently, but from at least this pull, the big one is definitely Big Un. So Big Un, Manaya, Miscreated Monster. Awesome, awesome picks for me right now, and this like this is going exceptionally well. I am mega happy about this. Oh, this is awesome. This is really great. So let's see the rest. Sandlash Survivor, also really good champion. Lots of survivability that she brings to the team. And you can also use her in the clan boss, for example. But generally speaking, you have an ally protection here. You have a block damage on herself. And then in addition to that, you have also a buff duration decrease. There we go. On the opponent side. And you increase the duration of all ally buffs. This A2 is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So just keeping your buffs up is great. And keep in mind, I already have Anchorite, who essentially does the same thing. So if I can produce a lineup where I use both of them, then I have now all of a sudden 2 champions that can increase my buff duration and even decrease the duration of the buffs that the opponent has. So not really something that I'm going to use a whole lot in PvP content, but for PvE, that can be mega powerful. This might boost my clan boss damage significantly, and it could also lead to me breaking through some of the stages in Doom Tower Heart that so far I haven't been able to do a lot with. I have to tinker around with her a little bit to make that properly work. It's all about keeping her alive and healing. I have now a couple of regeneration gear. She's a defense champion, so there's a couple of different ways to build her. But Sandlash Survivor is actually a really, really strong epic, and so that's another fantastic pull that we have here. So, yeah, awesome. Like, this... I was hoping for the Times to Ancient event to really boost my account, and I think this is exactly what's happening here. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Most of the time, at least so far for me, it's really the big epic shard, the ancient shard events that boost your account, particularly at the beginning, because you get epics, you get also some legendaries if you have a whole lot, and you get the chickens so that you can upgrade everyone else. If you pull your sacreds, most of the time you're kind of disappointed, so there's that. We get Tyrell. He's also a really strong one. He was somebody that back in the day was like the go-to champion. Has been overshadowed by others, but he can still help you. But I still remember that when I started my main account, everybody was like trying to get one of these. He was also one of the guys that would help you, for example, at the clan boss back at the time, for obvious reasons. I mean, he gets the decreased defense in here. He has also on the one decreased attack. So you have a lot of tools that you want to have against the clan boss. Might play around with him a little bit to see what I can do. He's definitely going to help me in faction wars. That's a given. I don't really think that I need him for the clan boss. He's a decent pull. I have other champions currently that fill his role. He might do it a little bit better, but obviously it's always a question of like how many gains you have there. If it's only marginal gains and you have to invest a lot of resources, then it might be someone that you're just, you know, putting on the back burner a little bit. Gnarlhorn, talking about the rares for just a second. He's also pretty good. He has a little bit more control tools. Again, this is just like to keep in mind champions that might help you in other areas, because there are a lot of restrictions on champions in either the Cursed City or some Doom Tower secret rooms. So Gnarlhorn has a Provoke, has a couple other tools, and you can again put him into a couple of sets that help out there. So he's someone to keep unless you really, really, really need a 3-star chicken at that point in time. Magna. Awesome. I am not gonna lie, I feel a little bit bad for getting so many good picks right now. I would have loved to get another legendary here, but I have now Minaya, I have Big Un, I got Miscreated Monster, I have Magna, and Sandlash Survivor. I got more, but these 5 alone are insane. Magna is awesome. He's a fantastic nuker. And as an epic, he's just great. First of all, you're an HP champion, so it's already like he's a tank just in the lineup right there. Then, in addition to that, you have also a debuff spread here. And again, like just the damage alone, the stuns that you can apply, he's awesome. Like, he's fantastic. I absolutely love my Magna on my main account. I think I actually still use him in some of the Faction Wars teams with Demon Spawn. And he is also pretty good in Arena. Like, maybe not in your main arena team. For that, I have other champions. But when we're talking about team arena, he is definitely going to find a slot there. So he's someone that I'm going to build 100% to, even if it's just for faction wars and some other content. But if you, for example, at some point, you know, need to break through a certain affinity stage, he can be just the guy if you're going up against Force Affinity. So mega happy with the pulls here. Minaya and Big Un, definitely the big ones. Miscreated Monster, tons of fun. Magna here. I mean, there's a lot to work with here. And this is exactly what I was hoping for from the Ancient event, because I need champions, you know, that push the account a little bit further. I'm in a really good spot with it. I still owe you guys a video going over the progress within the 4 months that we've now had when I started the account, but I essentially solved most of the dungeons that we have and can farm really decent gear. But this is going to help me to just put it to the next level when we're talking about Doom Tower Hard, when we're talking about Cursed City, for example, and also just once I upgrade them to 60, more flexibility. Because while on the PvE side, the progression with the account, it has been amazing so far, one of the problems was, or is still, that it's a little bit tricky at times when you don't have a lot of diversity of what you can pick in your upper level. I don't have too many on 60. That is going to change right now. I mean, there's plenty of champions here that will definitely have to be upgraded to 60 as fast as possible. I'm going to get at that immediately. But yeah, awesome. Really great picks. Insane boost for the account. And super happy. Now, again, if you made it until this point in the video, please give it a like. Let me know what you got. Did you get anything awesome from the Ancient Shards event? Did you get anything that really helps your account, or was it just a full disappointment? I mean, I honestly feel like I stole a lot of the RNG here from the looks of it. At least I am not going to complain about how this worked out for me. But let me know what you got. Did you get any amazing pulls? Yes, no, or just full disappointment? Thanks for watching, guys. Was a great video. Very happy with the outcome, especially since the last two were a bit of a disappointment when I pulled Shards, but this one was awesome. So, good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Have a fantastic weekend and see you guys soon.